Good morning. Finding a comfortable posture, one wherein you are undisturbed, is a good way to begin any kind of contemplation or meditation routine. It helps to be able to focus and concentrate on what you would like to do without disturbances from any and everything else. Common sense. When one begins in such a way, the next part of one's journey is to focus in such a way as to clear one's mind. Doing this, one can utilize one's own physicality to help. Oftentimes, this is what we do too. Starting with just being aware of one's posture is an initial beginning. You've already begun. We've already begun the process. We've already begun meditating. So you can allow a smile to cross your lips already, as you have already partially succeeded in what you want. You may follow that up with a question saying, well, wait a minute, I'm not quite where I want to be. There's still a lot of things on my mind are moving around, and that's what I'm concerned about, is that I can't find a place to relax and to just find a sense of peace and tranquility. And this is actually very easy to do. Much easier than many people think. Yet the problem is people don't know how. They've never had an educational experience where someone helped show them the value of just going over one's own physicality. Where might we begin in this endeavor? Well, one way that is very easy, which we all share, is just thinking about your body's warmth, or if it's cold, or if it's in between. Just finding a sense of what your temperature is right now in your comfortable posture, wherein we're undisturbed. Thinking about your body's temperature. Most of us, if you've been following these podcasts, or if you have a sense of physiology, have an idea in the background to know your warmth emanates from your muscular activity in both your heart's squeezing and relaxing, pumping the blood through your vascular system is half of it. And the other half is in one's breathing, in following one's rising of one's chest, as if a bellows is filling with air, and then sequentially with one's exhaling and one's breath subsiding in one's lungs. These two actions together are mostly responsible for the energy, the thermal energy being created in one's chest and then being dissipated through one's vascular system, through one's blood, the blood carrying the warmth from the top of your head to the tips of your toes and the bottom of your feet. So already, just by following this line of reasoning that we're sharing, we find a sense of focus and concentration, and maybe some of the things that were on one's mind a few minutes ago are now gone. This is what we're talking about in focusing in concentration. If you have things that are stubbornly interrupting what we're doing and are disruptions on your journey from accomplishing your goal of being calm and peaceful, then we can take another step. We can think, well, what else does our physiology offer us besides the warmth of our body? Well, we've just discussed two more things. We've talked about our hearts squeezing and then relaxing. And in this simple process, in this motion, and in these moments of these motions, there is created a pulse of pressure as the blood is being squeezed into your arteries. This is what we call our pulse. It's a closed system, so it winds its way through your blood vessels from your heart all the way around your body, and then retreats back to your lungs again, where the carbon dioxide, which has been exchanged for the oxygen that has been brought to it by the arteries, is allowed to escape through one's exhale. And new oxygen is retrieved from the air and brought again in a continuous process. This is happening around 20,000 times a day. And so if we're thinking about our thermal activity, our warmth, and we're thinking about our bloodstream, about our pulse, being aware of one's pulse, finding one's pulse. If you don't have a natural inclination to notice it, then take two fingers, your pointer finger and middle finger from one hand, and put it on your wrist crease underneath your thumb on your opposite hand and press in gently. You'll find your radial artery. Your radial artery goes along your radius bone, and you'll find this pumping sensation. And if you think of these two processes simultaneously, then in a sense you're crowding out from thinking of other things. So something has to be taken off of the different multitasking capacities that we share, helping us become more calm. If we then also include within this scope of our thermal energy and our pulsing, but also include simultaneously the interaction of our lungs rising and subsiding in our chest, now we have three different things that we can possibly carry in our concentration in a simultaneous fashion. And this is what we want to do. And sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to be able to achieve this. And you might set this before oneself as a goal. Breathing, pulsing, and warming one's body. Feeling this energy dissipating through one's skin. Now, if something is particularly stubbornly bothering you or on the top of your mind and disrupting your peace and calm, your sense of tranquility, disturbing your grace, then let's add a fourth. So we're aware of our heat, we're aware of our pulse, we're aware of our breathing. Underneath these three lie the basic mechanism of one's life, one's vibration, you might call it. But people say, wait a minute, I don't have a vibration. I don't ever feel my vibration, so what are you talking about? Well, until a few minutes ago, you weren't thinking about your pulse, but it was happening. Similarly, before a few minutes ago, you weren't thinking about your chest rising and subsiding, but it's been doing it all day. And before a few minutes ago, you most likely were ignoring the heat that's emanating from your body. Maybe occasionally thinking about it, oh, I feel warm or cold, but no more than a momentary awareness and then gone. But now if we're following these instructions that we're sharing, then all of a sudden there's a different dynamic going on. So let's add that fourth in. Now you say to me, but wait a minute, Zoran, I don't, how do you do that? I don't understand it. Well, hey, first of all, it's okay that you don't. Because you're not feeling something happening 20,000 times a day, which is your breathing. You're not aware of that because it's more of a subconscious or autotonic in nature. And you're similarly not thinking about something happening around 90,000 times a day, which is your heart squeezing. So why would you, in a sense, feel the vibration of your body, which is happening all the time, right? Makes sense. You just ignore it. Because why? Because as long as you've been alive, this energy has been functioning, has been continuous since your birth, since more or less since one's conception, as the cells expand and expand. And from the one cell when we are conceived, the egg and the sperm of your mother and father, to the day of one's birth, there's approximately a growth of up to 1 trillion cells. Thereafter, from one's birth to adulthood, there are an additional 36 trillion cells created and continued as we live our lives as adults. 37 trillion total. So, do you think the cells have any kind of activity? Do you think they move? Do you think possibly they are vibrating with energy? Do you think the oxygen we breathe, the vascular system which spreads it throughout our body, do you think there is a purpose and a reason for this? And all of a sudden you begin to say, well, maybe. And now you're on the right path. If you take your hands and join them together, fingers to fingers, digits to digits, thumbs to thumbs, palms to palms, and feel gently, you don't need to press too hard, but feel gently, the first thing that comes to mind is the warmth and the texture, the feeling, maybe a little bit of moisture you feel as well. Feel more intently. Feel beneath and feel the pulse as you feel your fingers and your palms and your hands as an entirety pulsing with energy, pulsing with the activity of one's heart. And now feeling in the context of one's whole body, and you begin to feel a sense of it shimmering. Shimmering meaning vibrating, quivering, having a sense of some kind of emotion. It doesn't need to be pronounced. It is very subtle. It's not wasteful in what's going on. It's something that's been cultivated for hundreds of millions, maybe billions of years. And yet it's occurring every moment we are alive. So now, adding these 4 different physiological processes to one's thinking process on a simultaneous basis, as best one can, understanding that we are multitasking. So we're going in a million different ways, maybe in every moment of our lives, and yet we can focus on these 4. We can concentrate and come to a better understanding of them as we are going about our day, going about our concentration, our meditation experience. Doing this now. You can keep your hands together if you like. Feeling this energy inside, the warmth, the pulse. Being reminded of one's chest rising and subsiding. This is one's physical presence. Now, if you want to, you can add in a 5th element to this. You can listen with your mind's ears. Do you feel an ambiance between hearing my words, but also hearing another sound, a sound of potential beneath the actual words that you're hearing that are above the threshold of sound? Do you feel a sense of energy here too? The energy of creation, we can call it, the atmosphere, the different elements that we think of as the different gases, nitrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon dioxide, whatever it might be. So now we have 5 different things that we're thinking of, again, simultaneously as possible, helping us to focus on these and to relieve any other distractions we might have. This is a basic meditation. Just do this. It need not be complicated, nor involve remembering other things than what you already know from your own life experience. It's not a mantra. I'm not asking you to sit in any other position than one that is comfortable. I'm not asking you to do anything special, but to be the miracle you are. We are bundles of miracles. We are here now. And with what we're doing and accomplishing, we are beginning to fashion a state of humility, realizing how special we are, and a part of something, if we are special, is also even perhaps more special, which is the creation which we are part of. The 14 billion years it has taken for you and I to converse here today. And the distances involved. We talked about time just now, and now space. The distances involved when we think of how far the reaches of our universe go, being humbled by this immensity of creation, and thankful. We have these moments we can share. It's all you need. This is the beginning of godliness, of understanding and being introduced to oneself. That which people call godliness or God. Do you not think you are part of this? Remembering we are each a part of creation. Think of this literally. That which began this universe 14 billion years ago. It is the same today as it was then. It has been changed. It has become more complex. This is evolution we're talking about now, just like we can consider our DNA. We are an integral part of all of this. Therefore, we are an integral part of godliness. Know whom you are. Know thyself. To thine own self be true. These words and phrases herald one's own self-awakening, one's illuminating of one's own being, one's self-realization, self-revelation. This is the purpose of us being here. Thinking about these things. The music's going to continue for another minute. Have an incredible day. Being kind, being cheerful, being understanding, having compassion, realizing all of the things we do are aspects of evolution, and we can keep improving upon ourselves. This is our goal, self-improvement. Namaste.